Did you know that according to the National Kidney Foundation, more than 37 million Americans have chronic kidney disease, and most of them are not even aware of it? Your kidneys are amazing vital organs that filter your blood, produce hormones, and balance your electrolytes. In fact, every 30 minutes, your kidneys filter all the blood in your body, removing toxins and waste products. But what if I told you that some of the foods you are eating every day could be straining your kidneys and damaging them further without you knowing about it? In this video, we will reveal the worst 10 foods that are destroying your unhealthy kidneys and why you should avoid them at all costs. We will also share with you much better alternatives for these foods or ways to make them less damaging to your kidneys. Trust me, you will be surprised that some of your daily foods might be on the list. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Dark-colored soda. Do you love drinking dark-colored sodas like cola, root beer, or Dr. Pepper? If you do, you might want to think twice before you reach for another can. Dark-colored sodas are one of the worst enemies of your kidneys. That's because they contain very high amounts of phosphorus, which is a mineral that is found naturally in some foods, and your body needs some of it to keep your bones and teeth strong. But now, here's the thing, dark-colored sodas contain phosphorus in the form of additives, which are chemicals that are highly absorbable by your body, meaning that they can quickly raise your blood phosphorus levels. And when you have kidney disease, your kidneys can't remove excess phosphorus from your blood, which can pull calcium from your bones, making them weak and brittle. It can also form deposits in your blood vessels, heart, lungs, and eyes, increasing your risk of heart disease, stroke, and vision loss. So the best thing to do here is to avoid or limit dark sodas as much as possible. You can also try to choose sodas that are light-colored and have less phosphorus, such as ginger ale, Sprite, or 7-Up. But remember to check the labels and look for the word phos in the ingredients list, because some sodas may have added phosphorus even if they are light-colored. Number 2. Avocados. You might have heard that avocados are a superfood, but did you know that they can also be harmful to your kidneys? Let me explain why. Avocados are rich in potassium, which is a mineral that helps regulate fluid balance, nerve signals, and muscle contractions. Usually, potassium is good for your health, but too much of it can cause problems if you have kidney disease. That's because your kidneys are responsible for removing excess potassium from your blood, and when they are damaged, they cannot do this job properly. This can lead to high potassium levels in your blood, which can affect your heart rhythm, muscle strength, and even cause cardiac arrest in severe cases. So how much potassium is too much? Well, according to the National Kidney Foundation, people with kidney disease need to limit their potassium intake even more, to about 2,000 milligrams per day or less. But what about avocados? How much potassium do they have? Well, a lot actually. One average-sized avocado provides a whopping 690 milligrams of potassium, which is about 35% of the recommended daily intake for people with kidney disease. Even a small serving of 1/4 of an avocado can provide about 170 milligrams of potassium, which is still significant. So what can you do to avoid the damage of avocados to your kidneys? Well, the best thing is to avoid or limit them if you have been told to do so by your doctor or dietitian. There are many other fruits and vegetables that are lower in potassium and still nutritious, such as apples, berries, cabbage, carrots, and cucumbers. Number 3. Red meat. Red meat is very high in protein, which is good for your muscles and bones. But too much protein can also increase the acid load in your body, which can severely harm your kidneys. When you eat a lot of red meat, your kidneys have to work harder to get rid of the excess acid. This can cause inflammation, scarring, and even kidney failure over time. Other than that, red meat is a source of heme iron, which is a type of iron that is easily absorbed by your body, but can also increase oxidative stress and inflammation in your kidneys, which are two of the main causes of kidney disease. For example, a study published in the Journal of Renal Nutrition found that people who ate the largest amounts of red meat had a 73% higher risk of developing chronic kidney disease than those who ate the least. Another study found that replacing one serving of red meat with another source of protein, such as soy or legumes, reduced the risk of kidney disease by over 60%. So what can you do to protect your kidneys and still enjoy your meat? Well, you can start by reducing your intake of red meat, especially processed red meat, which is even worse for your kidneys. You can also choose healthier alternatives such as fish, poultry, eggs, or dairy, which have no association with kidney disease. Or you can go for plant-based sources of protein, such as soy, legumes, nuts, and whole grains, which even have a protective effect on your kidneys. Number 4. Banana. Bananas are a delicious and nutritious fruit, but they are also rich in potassium. As we discussed earlier, too much of potassium can cause problems if you have kidney disease. That's because your kidneys are responsible for removing excess potassium from your blood, and when they are damaged, they cannot do this job properly. This can lead to high potassium levels in your blood, which can affect your heart rhythm, muscle strength, and even cause cardiac arrest in severe cases. One medium-sized banana provides about 420 milligrams of potassium, which is about 21% of the recommended daily intake for people with kidney disease. Even a small serving of half a banana can provide about 210 milligrams of potassium, which is still a lot. So if you have kidney disease, you need to avoid or limit eating bananas. There are many other fruits that are lower in potassium and still nutritious, such as apples, berries, grapes, and pears. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 5. Spinach. Spinach is a superfood that has many health benefits, but unfortunately it can also damage your kidneys if you eat too much of it. Spinach contains a substance called oxalate, which can bind to minerals like calcium and form crystals in your urine. These crystals can grow into kidney stones, which are hard deposits that can cause pain, infection, and even kidney damage. Kidney stones can also block the flow of urine and prevent your kidneys from filtering waste properly. This can lead to chronic kidney disease and even renal failure. So how much spinach is too much? Generally, experts recommend limiting your oxalate intake to less than 100 milligrams per day if you have kidney stones or kidney disease. 1 cup of cooked spinach has about 750 milligrams of oxalate, so you can see how easy it is to go over the limit. But what if you love spinach and don't want to give it up completely? Well, in that case, eat spinach with calcium-rich foods, as calcium can bind to oxalate in your stomach and intestines and prevent it from being absorbed into your bloodstream. And always cook your spinach, as cooking can reduce the oxalate content of spinach by about 30%. Boiling is the best method, as it leaches out the most oxalate into the water. You can also steam, sauté, or microwave your spinach, but avoid baking or frying, as these methods can increase the oxalate content. Number 6. Canned foods. Canned foods are convenient, cheap, and long-lasting, but they are also very bad for your kidneys. That's because most canned foods are loaded with sodium, which is a mineral that helps regulate fluid balance and blood pressure in your body. However, when your kidneys are not working well, they cannot filter out excess sodium from your blood. This can lead to high blood pressure, fluid retention, swelling, and even heart failure. High blood pressure can also damage the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys, making them less efficient at removing waste and toxins. This can worsen your kidney function and increase your risk of kidney failure. According to the National Kidney Foundation, people with kidney disease should limit their sodium intake to less than 2,000 milligrams per day. However, most canned foods contain way more than that. For example, 1 cup of canned chicken noodle soup has about 1,100 milligrams of sodium, which is more than half of your daily limit. 1 can of baked beans has about 1,000 milligrams of sodium, and 1 can of tuna has about 500 milligrams of sodium. Even canned fruits and vegetables can have added salt, so always check the nutrition label before buying or eating any canned food. If you have to eat canned foods, then you should rinse them under running water to wash off some of the salt. Number 7. Dried fruits. Dried fruits are fruits that have been dehydrated to remove most of their water content. They are often eaten as snacks or added to cereals, salads, or desserts. Dried fruits have many health benefits, such as providing fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins. However, they can also damage your kidneys if you eat too much of them. This is because dried fruits contain a lot of potassium, which is very harmful if your kidneys are not working well. For example, 1 cup of dried apricots has about 1,500 milligrams of potassium, which is almost your entire daily limit. 1 cup of raisins has about 1,300 milligrams of potassium, and 1 cup of prunes has about 1,200 milligrams of potassium. Even dried fruits that are lower in potassium, such as cranberries, blueberries, or cherries, can still add up if you eat too many of them. If you have to eat dried fruits, then you should eat them in moderation and choose varieties that are lower in potassium. You should also drink plenty of water to help flush out the excess potassium from your body. Number 8. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are one of the most popular and versatile fruits in the world. They are rich in vitamin C, lycopene, and antioxidants, which can boost your immune system and protect you from diseases. However, tomatoes are also high in potassium, which can harm your kidneys if they are not functioning well. One medium tomato has about 290 milligrams of potassium, which is more than 10% of your daily limit. However, tomatoes are not all bad for your kidneys. In fact, they have some benefits too. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that can protect your cells from damage. For example, in a recent study done in 2020, researchers found that participants who consumed more than 4 milligrams of lycopene per day had a 39% lower risk of developing chronic kidney disease than those who consumed less than 2 milligrams per day. So how can you add more lycopene to your diet without going overboard on potassium? Well, you can have 1 medium tomato per day or a quarter of a can, around 100 grams, of chopped tomatoes. You can also reduce the potassium content of tomatoes by peeling and soaking them in water for a few hours before cooking. Number 9. Pickles. Pickles are cucumbers that have been fermented in vinegar, salt, and spices. They are crunchy, tangy, and low in calories, which makes them a great snack or a side dish. However, pickles are very high in salt, which is bad for your kidneys. Salt can cause your blood pressure to rise, which puts extra stress on your kidneys. 1 pickle can have up to 800 milligrams of sodium, which is more than a third of your daily limit. So try to limit yourself to 1 or 2 pickles a week. You can also choose low sodium or sodium-free pickles that are available in some stores. Number 10. Dairy products. Dairy products are a staple in many diets around the world, and they are known for their rich content of calcium, protein, and other essential nutrients. However, one of the primary concerns with dairy products for those with kidney issues is the high levels of phosphorus and potassium found in these foods. Like how we explained, when your kidneys are not working well, they cannot remove excess potassium or phosphorus from your blood, which can strain the kidneys and lead to many health problems. For example, a 1-cup serving of 2% milk contains 224 milligrams of phosphorus and 342 milligrams of potassium, while a 1-cup serving of almond milk contains only 10 milligrams of phosphorus and 60 milligrams of potassium. So if you need to limit your intake of phosphorus and potassium, you may want to consider some alternatives to dairy products. These include plant-based milks, such as almond, rice, or soy milk, which have less phosphorus and potassium than cow's milk. You can also choose low-fat or fat-free dairy products, which have less phosphorus than full-fat ones, and you can limit yourself to half a cup of dairy per day or 1 ounce of cheese. So these were some of the worst foods for your unhealthy kidneys. However, remember here that the recommended daily intakes of potassium, sodium, and phosphorus vary from person to person, depending on their kidney function, stage of kidney disease, and other factors. Therefore, it is very important that you consult your doctor and dietitian before making any changes to your diet. They can help you create a personalized meal plan that suits your needs and preferences and monitor your progress along the way. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you eat some of these foods regularly? Did they actually harm your kidney function? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.